Hey everybody, my name is Kirill. I'm out here with Smail Auto Group. Today we have the brand new 2019 Mazda 3 Hatchback with the premium package on it. And we're going to take it for a little drive. We just pulled it out of the showroom, so it's in pristine condition, and I'm excited to show you all the great new things about the 2019 Mazda 3. So before we head out on the road, I want to just walk around the car and go over some of the awesome new features on the exterior. Obviously, since it is a brand new redesign for this car, everything is new. But I do want to touch on a couple of key points. So the headlights, probably the things that grab your attention first. On the premium package that we're showing here, they are full LED adaptive headlights, so they will swivel left, right as you turn. Up, down, auto leveling as well. And you also see the LED daytime running light halo, which if you look really closely actually runs all the way down the length of the piping on the side of the headlight. It gives it a really cool three-dimensional effect there. On the hatch, we have the black trim all around the grille with the black wheels as well. That is unique to the hatchback. Sedan has its own unique look with chrome trimmings in its place. And like I said, the black wheels give it a nice aggressive touch with the machine gray metallic paint, which is pretty unique to Mazda as well. As we come around the back, you see a really nice aggressive design here as well. Probably some of the nicest taillights you can find on any car out there. Just beautiful, especially with the four little indicators on the inside. Gives it a really futuristic, retro kind of look to it. Pop the hatch open too, just to let you guys see what's in here. Pretty decent hatch size. It is pretty deep and also drops down fairly decently. Got a couple little lights in there, and of course, full-size spare tire with the Bose subwoofer built in to save you some space in there. You do have a lock button here, so you can lock the car when you're done. Just walk away from it. And you do have the true dual exhaust coming out of the back as well. They're not, synthetic looking like exhaust. They are actual exhaust pipes that stick out of the back of your bumper, with of course a backup camera and some more nice black trim to give it a really aggressive but premium look at the same time. I think a really overlooked feature is a nice little side skirt there that kind of also gives it more of a motorsport kind of look. Makes it look really aerodynamic and sleek. You don't see a lot of those kinds of touches on other cars. And of course, gotta point out the chrome belt line trim, how it is only on the bottom. The top is kind of blacked out, so again, it makes it look more aggressive. It kind of goes with Mazda's Kodo design, where it looks like it's got a lot of built-in energy. It's a rubber band, ready to pop, as Mazda calls it. And of course, Mazda's new refined Kodo design language. It's a lot simpler. It's a lot more sleek and elegant than the previous models. So I think that goes a long way to show how Mazda's really trying to break into the premium segment rather than just be another economy car competitor. They really are trying to set themselves apart. And as you walk up to the door, of course, in the premium package, you do have the keyless entry sensors, blind spot sensors in the mirrors, and turn signals built into the mirrors as well. Premium package gives you a nice sunroof with a really small, sleek shark fin antenna on the top, so you don't have obnoxious, antenna flinging around when you go through car washes or the wind or anything like that. Really big, small feature, the fuel cap is on the driver's side, which doesn't seem huge, but in everyday use, that is really convenient, so it's nice that Mazda did put that there. So one of the awesome new features about the all-new Mazda 3 is the available digital dash, which gives you an awesome graphic when you turn it on. Right now, you can see when it turns on, you have your lane keep assist system in there with your car centered in the dash. Up top is your speedometer. At the bottom, you see all your other informations with a couple real dials on each side, and there is actually a real physical bezel in the middle of this screen, which the screen kind of contours around. Now, with us being in the premium package, we do have all the your new modern safety features, so adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, blind spot sensors, emergency braking are all included in the premium package, at least, of this car, and they are optional in other lower trims of this vehicle. I mean, pretty much everything in here is brand new, so it's almost hard figuring out where to start. I guess I'll start at the wheel since it's the most readily accessible thing. The wheel is totally brand new, totally redesigned, and I really like it. Up here it's got some nice flat grips which really contour your hands very well. It's got a kind of concave, very simple design. It's very elegant, but it's also really sporty. I mean, it's kind of nostalgic of, like, you know, older roadsters and older, you know, Japanese cars that just had, you know, really simple kind of styles to them. The premium package here, it is an automatic transmission, but we do have paddle shifters, just like in the previous model years. One really cool new thing for the interior is you actually do get memory seating on this car now. So you do have 1 and a 2 setting for a memory seat for the driver's seat. Of course, automatic high beams, automatic windshield wipers come included with most of the trims of this car. Premium package does get that standard. Dual zone climate control with heated seats. Moving up to the screen, I mean, of course, a whole new dash has been redesigned. This one is trimmed in the optional red leather with the new screen up top. Kind of blends in a little more. I know a lot of people always said that the previous screen stuck up a lot, so Mazda kind of, you know, heard their audiences. They listened to the consumers and sunk it into the dash a little more, but without taking away from the futuristic, you know, floating screen design. The dials at the bottom, the Mazda Command Control Center, have also been refined. All the same commands are still there, but the buttons are a lot sleeker, the dial's a lot sleeker. Everything feels a lot more crisp and premium now. One really big change for Mazda is they have an all-new infotainment system up in their screen now. So instead of the old Mazda Connect, which a lot of people said, you know, didn't look as elegant as possible, this new system definitely looks a lot more premium, and it is very responsive, very easy to use. Simple click and, you know, it takes you right there. There's no hesitation, no lag to it whatsoever. So definitely will take a little bit of getting used to. If you currently own a Mazda, it is a little different, but, you know, Mazda's whole aim is to make everything intuitive. So you know, once you figure it out, play with it for a second, it is super simple to use. Down here again, I mean, you do have the sport mode still. You do still have the same shifter capability where you can slide it over, shift in manual mode. Another really cool feature is the new center console. So you can finally slide it back a little bit so you don't have to open it all the way. There's a little divider in there, so you can just put your phone right in there, close it up, slide it open, pull it out. You know, it makes it a lot easier without you having to open it up, and you go through all that hassle of having a lid being in your way while you're driving. Now to show you again, everything in that console, like I said, I'll take my phone out. There's a little divider so that, you know, if you do put a phone in, it'll stop it from sliding around, and then it gives you a little bit of separate storage space with a USB and a 120 watt adapter in there as well, 12 volt adapter, excuse me. They have moved the cup holders to a little more convenient area, so now whenever you're doing your commands, controls, and you're shifting, you're not going to be having your cups get in the way. You can also close it up, you know, maintain the elegance of the cabin. And up here you do have a second USB, you know, perhaps for a passenger if they want to use that as well. Little cubby here where, again, you can put little knickknacks, key, phone, so they don't slide around. So a lot of really good storage space, a lot of really good compartments, you know, makes it really easy to use. So a couple of the things that Mazdas are really known for nowadays are, of course, you know, driving characteristics, handling, just being all around fun to drive vehicles, but also with Mazda's aim to move more upmarket and be a semi-premium, you know, semi-luxury vehicle. They do have to be really quiet and really comfortable to ride in, as well as, you know, fun to drive and sporty. And I really think that this new Mazda 3 truly embodies all of what Mazda is trying to achieve. I mean, the cabin is whisper quiet. The steering and the throttle response is, you know, it's as expected, and I mean that to say as it's intuitive in a way that you can get in this car and feel like this is, you know, the favorite car that you've always driven. So it really does just kind of fit you like a glove when you get in to drive it. All the commands are very predictable. You know, all the new systems that they've put in, like the G-Vector control, really does help to reduce the body roll when you go into a turn. You know, keep the car more flat, keep your body from moving around. A lot of the stuff that's been going around recently for this car is the way that they actually engineered these seats. So when they designed these seats, they actually went and they studied human anatomy to figure out what the body naturally does to counterbalance your head motion as you walk. And so they studied the body's natural, counterbalancing of your head, and they designed the seat to work in that same way, so that whenever you're in the car and you're going and stopping, making turns, making adjustments, the seat cradles you in such a way to where the car literally kind of feels like it's moving around you, and your head is the axis, of which it all rotates around. So it's a pretty cool feeling. You might not notice it if you're not paying attention to it, but what you will notice is that it's just a really easy car to drive. It takes a lot of stress off the driver, and it's a lot of fun at the same time. Now, we'll go over a couple of the interior features as we drive. As I'm staring out the windshield here in the premium package, I do have a very nice heads-up display, which is constantly reminding me of the speed which I'm traveling. It also does have the capability to pull up traffic signs through the navigation and tell you what the speed limit of the road actually is if you're using the navigation system. So, not active in this car right now, but I do see the speed, which is very helpful for me. Lets you focus on the road a lot. You don't have to look down and distract yourself. You can just kind of focus on driving and know that all the vital info is kind of right in front of you. Turn signals even have a really nice sound that almost sounds like a texting click whenever you're texting. Cool little perk about Mazda, you can actually control how loud you want your turn signals to be, so you can make them less or more loud if you want to. It's a cool little quirk, Mazda's like that. Right now I have my adaptive cruise control screen on, so if I did decide to use my cruise control and there was vehicles in front of me, they would show up there. And you'd be able to see the distance presets as well, which are not boxes anymore, they are just lines. Again, going simpler is better philosophy for Mazda here. Aside from the awesome driving dynamics of this car, the one that we are in right now is actually only a front-wheel drive model, but for the first time ever, Mazda is offering all-wheel drive in pretty much all of the models except for the entry-level Mazda 3 model. So Mazda's all-wheel drive is, of course, one of the best in the industry. It is a predictive all-wheel drive, so it uses an array of sensors throughout the vehicle to interact with the environment, so it can tell, humidity, temperature, all kinds of different things about the vehicle, so that, if it's cold outside and there's a risk of it being snowy, it's going to keep you in four-wheel drive all the time. Whereas if it's a nice sunny day, there's not a chance of rain, the roads are probably dry, it might keep you in that front-wheel drive mode a little more just to help you save fuel. But again, if anything at all starts to happen, automatically kicks all-wheel drive in. So benefit of that is, if it is cold and snowy, you do know that your car will be in all-wheel drive all the time. It's not going to wait for the wheels to slip to kick it on. It will just automatically do it. But if you don't need it, it will automatically turn it off to help you save on your tire wear, help you save on a little bit of fuel as well. So it's a really nice, clever system. The seat I'm in right now is a really comfortable seat. It is a 10-way adjustable power seat, so you can adjust the thigh support individually from the height of the actual seat. Of course, lumbar support and power recline, so you can really figure out the perfect position for yourself. Me being 6'3", I'm very comfortable in this car, and I don't feel cramped or anything like that by any means. So while we have the opportunity, definitely want to demonstrate a couple of the smart driver safety features. Start off with lane keep assist, since you can pretty much do it anytime. You don't have to have traffic in front of you. So we're on the highway right now. What I'm going to do is just slowly let the car drift over to the left side, and you'll see it actually turned me back into my lane. I did not do that at all. It's pretty incredible. So that actually, it didn't even give me the option of a warning because I was just over so much, so the car just turned automatically for me. Now, it will, if you look on the screen there, it'll show you your blind spot sensors on the screen, either on the left or right side, and it'll of course also show you them in the mirrors. So just to demonstrate the lane keep assist again, this time I'm going to swerve a little bit meander to the right lane here, and you'll see it just automatically applies torque to the wheel, and it gives you a nice little graphic in the dash of the steering wheel being turned. So whether I go left or right, as soon as I get to the line, it turns for you, which is very helpful. Not something to be dependent on by any means. Like, this is not an autopilot like in Teslas or whatever. It's a driver assist. After a while, like if you take your hands off the wheel, Mazda will turn like the system off automatically, just so you don't mess around with it. So yeah, do make sure you keep your hands on the wheel at all times when you're driving. You know, be safe, be cautious. Don't rely on the driver's aids. You know, they're there more so, you know, for an emergency. If you're not paying attention, you know, they're there as a safety net, not as the bridge itself. Mazda's warranties for these cars really hasn't changed at all. It's still the same, you know, great 3-year, 36,000 mile bumper to bumper with the 3-year, 36,000 mile roadside assistance program. They also provide trip interruption, where they will help cover some costs if you know, God forbid, break down, you know, like over 100 miles away from home. They'll help pay for hotel room, you know, food, basic necessities, stuff like that. And of course, 5-year, 60,000 mile full powertrain warranty, which, you know, it being a Mazda, you probably will never need, but it is there just in case. So make a quick U-turn, demonstrate the awesome turning radius. I mean, it is a small car, so turns pretty small too. Pretty much be able to get anywhere. I can literally stare at this car just sitting there on the showroom floor all day, and it just makes me happy to look at it. It's just such a pleasant shape, such a simple, you know, refined, just beautiful car to look at. So now we'll go ahead and demonstrate the blind spot sensor for you. So you can see my heads-up display and in my dash, the sensor coming on. You'll see it in the mirror as well. And actually, if I turn my signal on, it'll give me an audible alert to tell me that there's someone in my blind spot, and, you know, give me an additional warning not to merge right then and there. So really great system. I've actually had people come back and purchase more Mazdas because of that audible alert, saying that that alert itself has prevented them from getting into accidents on numerous times. So I know Mazda does it. I really don't know of any other manufacturer that'll give you an additional audible alert for your blind spot sensor if you turn your signal on. So really, you know, valuable feature there as far as, you know, safety and just driver awareness. So can't forget to mention the sunroof in this car. Of course it is powered, so if you hit the button, it will give you the vent function. And then once you close the vent function, you have to close it as if you're closing the sunroof. But then also has one push back, one push forward functionality. So click it once to open, it opens all the way. Click it once to close, it closes all the way. And then you have a nice manual shade there, and also that'll bring attention to the black headliner, which really, you know, makes it look really premium with all the red leather in here. So for the all-new Mazda 3 here, Mazda has put in a new backup camera, and it's amazing. Quality is very impressive. The lines are very precise. You know, it makes the car really easy to park. So yeah, definitely very impressed with this new backup camera that Mazda's using for these 3s. It is very high definition. So that was our ride along with the all-new 2019 Mazda 3 hatch. Hope you guys are as excited about it as I am, and thank you again for joining us. Come see us in person right off of Route 30 in Greensburg, or online at smailmazda.com.